Some of you got to get a handle, and you don't have one right now, on what your life is actually going to be. And here's what I mean. Larry closed out his time with us by saying this. He said there's a vast difference between potential and calling. He said, some of you feel all the potential in the world to make your business successful, to do well in school, to make your ministry successful. And you got people all around you saying, do you know how gifted this is? And do you know how this potential is here? And do you know what we could do here? And do you know what we can do here? There's all this potential in the world. But different from potential is calling, and it's this. He's saying, do you know who has the most potential in the world for ministry? Single people. Because single people have nothing to think about except serving Jesus all the time, every moment. And then he said this, the minute, and this is 1 Corinthians 7, the minute you decided to get married, your potential took a hit. And the minute you decided to have kids, your potential for great things just took another hit. Because now you don't have all the time in the world to work on ministry or work on your business. And so some of you guys, you're still trying to make this massive business, hundreds of millions, but God's going, hold on, bro. You can't work 90 hours a week because you decided to get married. And you decided to have kids. And you know what that means? It means the bottom line takes a hit. If you didn't want it to take a hit, then you should have never got married in the first place, and you shouldn't have had kids. This is exactly what Paul's unpacking in 1 Corinthians 7. He says, but if you do marry, you have not sinned, and if a betrothed woman marries, she has not sinned. Yet those who marry will have, I love this phrase, worldly troubles. Right, all the men are just looking right, I don't know what he's talking about, baby. Those who marry will have worldly troubles, and listen to this, and I would spare you that. That's in the Bible. And then he says this, I want you to be free from anxieties. The unmarried man is anxious about the things of the Lord, how to please the Lord, because he's working in ministry. But the married man is anxious about worldly things, how to please his wife, and his interests are divided. So if you decided to get married, guess what takes the hit? Maybe you don't get to write all those books that you thought you were going to write. And maybe the church doesn't grow as big as you thought it was going to be. And maybe your business doesn't go the way you thought it was going to be because you can't work that many hours on it because you decided to take a wife for yourself. Oh, and then you decided to have a couple kids. Boy, they might need some time too. And there's a world of difference between the potential, because you got all the potential in the world, and calling in whatever the circumstance is in your life. And some of us need to go, those two things are not aligned.